So, providing some updates today. Been pretty busy the last few weeks. I've been sick for a good last 2.5 weeks of December, and then we had Christmas and everything, so I've not really done a whole lot out here. Dad has, and then we're finally starting, now that I'm feeling better, getting back to it. So I'll give you kind of an update of the lane that we're making for my parents' drive. So I'll give you kind of an update on that. And my dad is starting to get pretty interested in maybe doing a sawmill eventually. So we're starting to actually skid some logs out instead of just cutting everything up into firewood. I don't exactly know what all of these are, but one of them is a cherry. One of them is actually a thorn tree, but he really likes the grain, so he's keeping it. Getting pretty close to getting a trail, at least a narrow trail through here. We'll get these trees after the rest of the rocks out of the way. It'll widen up a bit. Got a few more to take. Dad's getting ready to do it. So in my last video, we were just getting through this rocky area. And even though we haven't been out here terribly a lot, we've gotten a lot done. So this little ditch actually does hold water sometimes, so eventually we'll have to get a culvert there. But moving on, we'll have to have a dozer come in and kind of level this out. We have made it up to this point. And once we get through there, we'll actually be kind of to a clearing that kind of goes to my stand. To give you a perspective, the barn and house area are kind of over there. So there's a pretty good ravine. It's pretty hard to tell through the video, but there's a pretty good ravine in between here and the barn. Just kind of another perspective of how far we've cleared up here. Just chainsaws. Haven't got the tractor back here, although we may to start kind of eventually working through some of this invasive crap. Since last time, I was finally quit being cheap and got me a nice new pair of Carhartts. I don't know why I waited so long to get a pair of Carhartts, but they're very nice. New day. It's pretty cold out here. The wind is pretty terrible. I wanted to show you guys the gate we put up in place of what we used to just literally have a steel cable. But a drunk driver took out what was previously there, so we decided to go ahead and put in a temporary gate. We gotta put some T-posts so people can't go around it, but that's where the old gate used to be, where those T-posts are. It used to bridge across to this cedar tree. But we got new cemented in holes, gate, closed. Gotta put some T-posts on this side too, so that people can't get around. But it's nice to actually have a gate instead of just a wire that didn't really do much. This is my father-in-law's first time in a tractor since he was in high school. I think he sort of enjoyed it. So part of this video, I want to take a minute to kind of talk about, why Coyote? Why did we buy a Coyote tractor? And I kind of wanted to explain a few reasons why. By no means am I a product review channel, but I thought it might be worth mentioning. So we bought this tractor in fall of 2021. We now have 120 hours on it, give or take. So we put about 100 hours in the first year. We're just over a year. So far, we have really liked this tractor. I gotta say, I do wish we would have went a size up to maybe like a DK series instead of a CK series. But generally, we're pretty happy with this tractor and the capabilities. So I want to talk about a few of the things that we really like about it. We bought the tractor from Weaver Ag and Lawn. So one thing that I noticed that I kind of liked over a Kubota or comparable John Deere, and I'm not a mechanic, but in the pictures, all of this steering stuff is all much more tight and up against each other, which seems to make sense from a brake standpoint. If you look at a lot of the Kubotas, stuff's way more out. The Coyote comes with the skid steer quick attach, which is Admittedly, nothing fancy over any other brands. That's pretty much the standard. The benefit of going Coyote at this size, we are able to get a cab for the actual size of a 3 Series. A lot of times you'll find that is really just now catching on with Kubota and Deere. Another feature compared to other brands, I really like that the gas tank is on the back of the machine instead of the hood. A comparable Kubota, I think, especially the cheaper ones, had it on the back or on the front hood. Toolbox is pretty much worthless on any brand, to be quite honest. Something that also a lot of the Kubotas and Deeres don't have, this little lever right here. So this is an external 3-point hitch control. It's actually mechanically linked to the inside one. A lot of this stuff easily adjustable compared to, say, maybe an economy tractor, Deere or Kubota. It's really nice. One thing that we do not have that I wish really came standard, and it's starting to at, say, Summit tractors, is a loaded rear tire with ballast. That would have been a nice addition. On the inside, I liked that there was a low, medium, and high, so having 3 gears. General hydrostatic to get into the tractor. One benefit is obviously the hydrostat. That's not anything special, but what a Coyote has is this little lever right here. They call that the link pedal. That allows me to not have to rev the tractor up to go faster. Essentially, I just push the pedals faster and the tractor goes faster. Again, 3-point is mechanically linked. Obviously, having a cab, it's nice to have AC and heat. I should mention the benefit of the Coyote SE, and again, if you get a regular, say, CK3510 instead of an SE, you won't get this, but the suspension seat is really quite nice. Our tractor being an SE, I think it comes standard with 1 remote, but ours from the dealer had 2 remotes. So it's nice feature of the SE to come with 2. And then electronic PTO. It's also really nice to have a cab with USB auxiliary, so I can listen to music. I mean, we don't actually have a CD player in here, but I can use the auxiliary. We do have cruise control, and then there's also some kind of PTO control. Honestly, I don't know that I've ever really used that. So another reason we went with Coyote over, say, some other brands is kind of the legacy. So Coyote is made by Daedong, South Korean. I don't know. They make Bobcat and Bobcat engines, so they have to be somewhat reliable. Bobcat's been in the game for a while, and actually, since we bought this tractor, the actual Bobcat line has started making actual tractors. And then, funny enough, Coyote has actually started making skid steers. They're all the same. It's the same tractors, same skid steers as Bobcats. They're both, or Coyote. So that's a lot of the reason we bought a Coyote tractor. Again, over 100 hours. We had to do a 50-hour service. Not too much longer. We'll be doing a hydraulic change. We've already done all the service. It's super easy. Everything about the tractor, as far as getting to the engine oil, getting to the hydraulic filters, the hydraulic oil, really everything has been super simple. And I am not mechanically inclined again. So really, if I can do it, I'm pretty sure that anybody really can. So I guess the last point that I would make is that the Coyote brand seems to be an excellent value for the money that you spend. If you look at a comparable Kubota or John Deere, you're looking anywhere between $10,000 and $14,000 more for a comparable product. That's not to say that the Kubota and John Deere aren't perfectly quality products. It's just, Coyote has a good reputation, so we thought we would give them a try. One point against Coyote, I will admit, is that I would not buy a Coyote tractor if you planned or thought that there would be any possibility that you would end up selling the tractor with any reasonable amount of time. I do notice that, on the online space, Facebook, Equipment Trader, Coyotes tend to not hold their value as well as a Kubota or John Deere. In our situation, we don't plan on getting rid of our tractor anytime soon, and we plan on using it for so many different projects, so it was not really a factor in our considerations. I guess I was a little off. We're at 116.7 hours. That is extremely blurry. There we go. So as you can see off to the left, link pedal. It's awesome. Love it. Thought I'd talk about my four-wheeler for a brief moment. So I got a 2014 Polaris 800 Sportsman. So one little complaint since I've had this, I really could use some zip ties, but essentially that is the power to the winch right there. I have had to take the winch entirely off as it keeps draining a battery, brand new battery. I've already had someone replace the voltage regulator, so I'm pretty much identified that it's the winch. I was getting pretty tired of coming out here every weekend and like having to jump it before I even start the thing. So not very reliable as far as that goes. Again, I don't know if this is the problem with Polaris or the winch or how it was wired or how it's done. Eventually I'll just add a switch and do it from that so I can completely kill the battery. But another kind of issue that we have to remedy is these doors. So they are starting to bow and I cannot even get that one closed anymore, which I don't know if it's part of the kind of the flashing up there that I am running into, or that it's bowed so much in the middle that it's now rubbing against the side. So not cool. We're probably gonna have to address that when it's warmer out so they don't split. Since we're talking about gear this video, obviously Dad has the Husqvarna 455 Rancher. I think I've talked about that before. So everybody's gonna say, oh, why did you buy a Poulan 36, 38, 16? There you go. Well, instead of a Steel, you know, because apparently Steel is the only brand that works. Poulan is actually made by Husqvarna. And I don't know, we've got, I gotta say, probably 50 hours on that saw at least already. And it has been a good little saw. So that's what I think of your opinion.
Keep going.